Hi, and welcome to this masterclass on how to make sponge cake and cookies in your Ankarsrum Assistant Original using the beater bowl and the whisk assembly. Choosing the right whisks for the job is going to make all the difference in the world. With the Ankarsrum Assistant, you have two options. We have a multi-wire balloon whisks, which makes fluffy cream and meringues. And then we have the option of using the single wire cookie whisks for making soft cookie dough, shortbread crusts, and frosting. We get asked all the time what the capacity on the beater bowl is. It will handle anywhere from 2 to 20 egg whites, and it will handle anywhere from 3 ounces to 27 ounces of heavy cream. If you want to do larger batches of egg whites and whipping cream, you can certainly use the stainless steel bowl and the roller and scraper tools. Let's get started making sponge cake. We're going to start by positioning the beater bowl shaft onto the base of the mixer. Next, you're going to slide your beater bowl over the shaft. The handle is going to be facing you, and the pour spout is going to be facing the arm of the Ankarsrum. Next, we're going to assemble our multi-wire balloon whisks. We're going to start by placing the large black gear into the beater housing. Next, you're going to take your multi-wire balloon whisk and lining up the teeth, push down until you hear it click into place. And now do this with the second beater. Without this large black gear in place, your beater assembly will not work correctly on your Ankarsrum beater bowl. Let's talk about a couple of do's and don'ts. Make sure that your beater assembly is pushed all the way down onto your beater bowl shaft. A couple more do's and don'ts. Remember, the more wires, the more air is being beaten into your food. So the multi-wire balloon whisk is ideal for making cream, meringue, light icings, and a very soft sponge cake batter. Anything heavier should be done with either the single wire beater or in the stainless steel bowl with the roller and scraper. We'll use the single wire cookie beaters in our next recipe, making cookies. We're now ready to make our sponge cake. This recipe can be found in the homemade recipe cookbook that comes standard with your Ankarsrum Assistant Original. You can make up to a triple recipe in your Ankarsrum beater bowl of this particular recipe. We're going to start with our eggs, our sugar, and our vanilla. We're going to get our Ankarsrum Assistant started on the lowest speed. Remember, your speed control knob is on the right, and your on-off knob is also up to a 12-minute timer. A single click is continuous on, and now we'll add our sugar and our vanilla. We're now going to increase our speed to medium. Now that our egg and sugar mixture is light and fluffy, we're going to add the rest of our wet ingredients and our dry ingredients. I've got my flour and my baking powder mixed together here, and then I've got my milk and my melted butter here. We're going to add these alternating back and forth. Always remember, once you start adding your dry ingredients, to turn the speed back down to the lowest setting. Single click is continuous on. And we're going to start with our dry. We're going to add about half. Then we're going to put in half of our milk and melted butter. Then we're going to add the rest of our dry. and the rest of our wet. We're going to turn this up to a low-medium speed just to incorporate. Now we're going to gently remove our beater assembly. Always remember, when you're doing things like heavy cream or meringue, if you remove your beaters, to check the texture of your mixture, and then you go to put them back in, make sure that they get pushed all the way back down onto the beater shaft. Also remember, after you've done things like heavy cream and cake batters, wash and dry your beater bowl with warm soapy water, and then wipe down with a bit of lemon juice before you go to make meringue. We're going to remove the beater bowl and now pour into our prepared pan that has been greased and floured. This is going to go into our preheated oven, and while it bakes, we're going to prepare to make cookies. Now that we're ready to make cookies, let's talk about the single wire cookie beaters. You're going to assemble them the exact same way as you assembled the multi-wire balloon whisks, ensuring that the teeth at the top of the beater are lined up with the large black gear inside the beater housing, making sure that they're completely secure and snapped into place. A couple things to remember when making cookies. Make sure the beater assembly is pushed all the way down onto the beater shaft. Make sure that you are using completely room temperature butter. You do not want to use cold butter in the Ankarsrum beater bowl with either the single wire beaters or the multi-wire balloon whisks. We're going to start our cookie dough by adding our room temperature butter. We're going to turn the machine on the lowest speed and gradually add in our white sugar and our brown sugar. When using brown sugar, make sure that you have worked out any large, hard clumps before adding it to the bowl. Now we're going to gradually turn up our speed until our butter and sugar creams together. If you feel like you need to stop the machine and scrape down the sides, gently remove the beater assembly, scrape down the walls of the bowl, attach the beater assembly back on, making sure to push all the way down, and turn the machine back on. We're now going to turn our speed all the way back down to low as we add in our eggs one at a time. And our vanilla. Turn the speed back up and allow to cream until smooth. And now we're going to turn our speed all the way down to low before we start adding our dry ingredients. We have our flour with our baking powder, baking soda, and salt already mixed together. We're going to gradually add this in. You always want to make sure you add your dry ingredients for cookie dough at the lowest speed. And we're going to mix just until combined. We're going to add in our dried coconut flakes. And at this point, you would either turn the machine off if you are adding large chunks of chocolate chips or large chocolate chunk pieces. We recommend that you go ahead and scoop out your cookies and manually add your chocolate chunks onto each cookie. Today, because I'm using mini chocolate chips, we can go ahead and add it in here, mixing on the lowest speed just until these are combined, and then we're going to turn the machine off. You'll want to note, if you continue mixing your cookie dough or try to turn it up to a higher speed, you run the risk of putting too much torque on the plastic bowl, causing it to twist as the beaters try and take the dough around the bowl. So make sure to mix on the lowest speed and mix just until combined and turn the machine off. Now our cookie dough is ready to scoop out and bake. Gently remove the cookie beaters, remove any cookie dough attached to them, and you're ready to scoop, bake, and enjoy. Now that our sponge cake and our cookies are finished, let's go back over a few tips for using your Ankarsrum Assistant beater bowl and whisk assembly. Remember, you have two options when using the Ankarsrum beater bowl. You have the multi-wire balloon whisks for making fluffy cream, meringue, light icings, and of course, sponge cake. You also have the single wire cookie beaters for making small batches of soft cookie dough, light icings and frosting, as well as short crust and pie dough. Remember, you must use completely room temperature butter when using the Ankarsrum beater bowl and whisk assemblies. In order to use cold butter for pie crust or short crust, you will need to grate your frozen butter into small pieces in order to incorporate them into your recipe. If you do choose to use room temperature butter in short crust or pie crust, just chill your dough in the refrigerator before you roll it out. We hope this video has helped you better understand how to use your Ankarsrum Assistant beater bowl and whisk assembly. Please check out all of our other masterclass videos. And of course, be sure to check out all of the optional attachments that you can add to your Ankarsrum, such as a blender, vegetable slicer and shredder, pasta attachments, and even a meat mincer. These attachments truly make your Ankarsrum the perfect kitchen assistant. Tune in next time as we show you other things that you can do with your Ankarsrum.